I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
We are PopCulturists, and this is our dissection of Pokémon Sun and Pokémon Moon.
The Pokémon Moon takes place in a new area of whatever the Pokémon world is called.
And Pokémon Sun.
Called Alola.
Alola.
Aloha. Where the formula's shaken up a little bit. You know, traditionally you'd go through the Pokemon game, you'd have the 8 gyms, you'd have the Elite Four, you'd have some kind of meh story put in there just to push things along. Where here, no gyms, and you take on trials.
Yeah. So
it's kind of a different way of progressing.
Yeah, so they've sort of changed the standard system. So rather than you going around one giant landmass with occasionally one island, which is how it normally works.
Yeah.
So you go from town to town, tackling the top boss. That core mechanic is still certainly here. Mm-hmm. So like if you're at this island, you have your big kahuna. Your kahuna is the gym leader of that island. Yeah.
So you go to a certain trial site, you complete the captain's trial, and then you beat that island's kahuna. And then you can move on to the next one.
Let's dive into that for a little bit. So how are you finding these trials compared to how we would normally do a Pokemon game?
Up and down, yeah. I'm through about 5 of them at the moment. Some of them, I'm like, that's really cool. Some of them are like, that's kind of pointless. I'm not going to say what they are. You can see that for yourself. But
yeah, look,
touch and go.
We want to keep to a somewhat spoiler. Yeah.
As far as battling because at the end of each trial, there's a totem Pokemon, which is a more bigger, powerful version of a regular Pokemon you'd find.
Which tend to have the new Z moves as well.
Yeah, and they're quite strong, and the battles are quite difficult. I've actually found this game overall to be a little bit more difficult than the other games have been. So it's really interesting, how everything's the same but different, and it makes it feel all new.
100%. So like, with me, I own every Pokemon game. I'm nostalgic enough to buy it like day one, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm in this weird middle ground. Like, because every other game has been so formulaic and the same, it sort of loses me after like 10 or so hours. Yeah. With this, now, mind you, I've just hit that 10-hour mark, so I'm not like lost on it. But it takes what we know, changes it enough to keep it fresh. And when talking about with the story, this is the most story-driven Pokemon I've ever experienced.
Yeah. Kind of to a fault. Initially, the first maybe hour and a half of the game, just talking.
It's hand-holding, it's very obvious tutorial.
The basics that you can't skip, like people that have played all of them. We know this, I know this. I was playing with my kids, and they're like, there's so much talking in this thing. But of course, it has to touch on some of the new features in the game as well with the tutorials. So after about the 2-hour mark, it starts to open up and kind of go, okay, off you go.
Yeah.
So you got to get through a bit of a slog at the start. But after that, it's...
Look, because it is so fresh comparatively, I think that makes sense why they did a bit more of a tutorial side of things.
Yeah. And you got to imagine...
It's 20 years. They're grabbing new people.
Yeah, well, speaking of grabbing new people, with the Pokemon Go explosion,
100%.
You're going to have a lot of people, even in our age demographic, that are buying their first Pokemon game that have no idea what's going on. So just put up with that for 2 hours, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
Fine onwards from there. So... Of course, with the new Pokemon game come new Pokemon.
Yeah.
We can't talk about all of them, but from what you've seen so far, what do you think?
So it's very interesting for me, because as I mentioned, with like the last Pokemon that I played would have been Pokemon X and Y. Now, Omega, Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire, I know those Pokemon because I played Sapphire back in the day. So with X and Y, because I only played it for like 10 hours, I don't know... any Pokemon? I'm coming into this going, oh man,
so you've got twice the amount of new Pokemon to look for.
By accident.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Like Spearow, I know Spearow, you're cool. I don't know what that thing is. I'm like, I assume that's new. Is that new? And then you're like, yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah. So for me,
that's really good because I'm really enjoying finding these new Pokemon because I find them. Because we know in previous versions, like they got a little bit sort of weird with them in terms of like the keychain and the sword.
What they've released this generation with these 2 games are leagues above the new Pokemon from maybe the last 2 the last 2 releases in the franchise. Like these, they're cool, they're unique, they're not dumb. Like we've had ice cream scoop Pokemon, we've had garbage bin, like literal trash Pokemon. Like, that was Grimer back in our day, but it's literally like bags of garbage.
Sludge,
Bags of garbage, But every Pokemon I've come across here, with the exception of one, I'm not going to say what, but with the exception of one where I've gone, that's kind of actually dumb. they're awesome. Like my whole team, because normally when I get a new Pokemon game, I'll get 1 or 2 new ones and then just go back to my old reliables from years and years ago.
Yeah.
All new Pokemon in my team in this game. And not because I can't get the old ones, it's just like I don't want them. I want these new ones because they're awesome, they're unique, they have cool new abilities, cool new moves.
Yeah, look, for me, like in terms of an aesthetic as well, one thing that I'm a really big fan of with this is the separations between the islands. They have really set up the idea that these Pokemon live only on these islands.
Yeah.
And I really like that because that also adds to this, outside of the regular evolutions you see in this game, you see the Darwinian evolution, which is real life evolution.
With Orikoko, I think the bird's name is.
Yeah.
On same Pokemon, same Pokedex entry, but I think there's 8 different versions.
There's 4 different versions. Four different
One
versions.
for each island.
Yeah, and this is literal Darwinian evolution. Like, this is where, like, when Charles Darwin went to the Galapagos Islands, he noted there were different finches on different islands purely because they had to survive differently on each island.
They evolved differently.
Which is so cool. Like, this is a whole another layer. And the same thing goes for any of the Kanto Pokemon that have come over
the
too.
Alola version of, like, Exeggutor having that stupidly long neck.
It's for him to get more sun.
It's because of trees and canopies and stuff.
Yeah.
He needs to get out of there.
Love it. It makes it a bigger smart again.
Now being, ice/steel.
Because they're living in the mountains.
They're living in the snow mountains. Like,
And
it all makes sense.
Diglett and Dugtrio have hair.
That doesn't make sense.
But surf culture.
Yeah. Or like Raichu surfing on his tail.
Yeah.
But he's an electric psychic type now, which is kind of explained in the game too, why that happened.
Love it.
So coming with the new Pokemon comes new moves. And whereas in X and Y we've got Mega Evolution, in this game we've got Z moves. Z-Power. Z-Power, get it?
Yeah.
You have Z-Power.
Oh,
so
nice.
after finishing every trial you get a new Z-Power stone for a certain type of move. So the initial trial you defeat, you get a certain stone. You can make a Pokemon, any amount of your Pokemon hold that stone.
But they have to be fitting that
And as long
type.
as that Pokemon has a move of that type, they can use that Z power. So
I've been playing it wrong.
think of it as you can only use it once per battle, but it's an ultimate move.
Yeah.
And they can normally have a few different ones as well. But yeah, so it doesn't have to be the same type as long as that Pokemon has a move of that stone.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
that's really
it
cool.
helps you mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
My Graveler has the electric one because he has Thunder Punch.
Sweet.
Yeah.
One thing I also want to mention as well is just going on from the aesthetic of the Pokemon. Let's talk about just how good this game looks in general.
Even on our bloated 3DS XL screens.
Yeah, so one thing that I'm sure most people know as well is the 3DS XL, which we both use, has the same pixel density as a regular 3DS. So whatever that is made for this 3DS, it gets blown up and it's
not a high resolution at all.
Yeah, so it's the exact same quality of screen in terms of its resolution. So you do notice those squares and the pixels and stuff a bit more. But with this, I'm finding it noticeably less. Like the sprites are noticeably higher quality.
Movement's very fluid, whether you're in the overworld map running around or you're in a battle and Pokemon are moving.
We should mention as well, from X and Y, you still worked in the 8 directions. This is full 3D. You can run any direction however you want.
Yeah.
Full 360 movement.
Yeah. Okay, going on moves again. I love that we don't need HMs anymore.
I was wondering why I haven't seen HM.
Are you not at that part of the game yet?
No.
Okay, so no spoilers, but instead of HMs, you get this thing called it's like a call a taxi kind of a thing. Yeah?
Oh yeah, no, I've got that now. Where you get a Taurus.
Yeah, so the first one you get is Taurus, which I think was shown in the
strength
in one of the trailers. Taurus has sprint, but then you also get to call a Pokemon for flying, for surfing, for rock smashing, all that kind of stuff. So you just push a button, pick which one you want. Bang, there it is. No more HMs, no more keeping a Pokemon just so you can have that move.
That is so
No more
good.
wasting move spots with subpar moves. I think there's 8 total you can get.
Which makes there's normally 8 HMs.
Yeah. So you just have a dedicated Pokemon for that particular thing. Which just makes building your party and your team just a lot more freeing. Because you can pick whatever Pokemon you want. You don't have to have a flying type so you can fly around all the time. You're not wasting spots.
Then you have that, the way it always works, you have the 5 people that you want, and then you have your HM slave.
Yeah.
Which is their entire 4
moves. There
moves.
was a few Pokemon where they could learn 4. And that was...
It's all their job. It was like... it was a garbage one from I don't know, it was like this weird, like, raccoon thing. Like,
Zigzagoon.
It might have been Zigzagoon. And I'm like, this doesn't do shit.
Strength, flash. I think it could learn Surf
Yep.
as well.
So I just had it purely to take on my HM.
Yeah, so you're not wasting any spots anymore.
That's an incredible improvement.
Yes. And the best thing about it is it's fluent. You push the Y button, a pop-up menu comes, you tap which one you want, it's there. No loading screen, no little awkward thing to get it. It's just tap it, you're on it, go.
Speaking of fluid, even just with like I'm finding my whole experience is quite fluid. As in transitioning from area to area is pretty quite straightforward.
Yep.
With the bottom screen, you get to see a sort of a large map, and you travel with that large map. Now that doesn't change; that stays consistent.
Yes.
So you actively see yourself moving around the world, which is really, really cool. And with limited load screens, it actually helps.
And what they've done with that map that's helped a lot is just a little icon. This is where you need to go next.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing about a Pokemon game is you put it down for a couple of weeks, come back and go, where was I going, what was I doing?
Yeah.
You've got no hints, like nothing to say, like a journal, like you're up to here, now you're going here. You had nothing. So it's good because now you know where you're going.
But even like, keep it on the floor, like, I have no problems with the animation of this game. This game runs really quite well for me.
The only time I see a frame rate drop is in double battles with weather effects.
Oh, okay. I've not seen them yet.
I've had a few recently where it's raining and it's 2v2 and it can get a little bit choppy, but it's fine.
Do you have the new 3DS XL?
I do.
So you should
I
have
have
that
the
bit
most
of grunt
powerful
as well, yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, are there any other sort of negatives that we should discuss with this game?
In terms of catching Pokemon, the Pokemon SOS ability that...
Okay, so tell everyone what this is.
Okay, so Pokemon now have the ability, when they're on low health, to call for help. And this can go infinitely. So what it comes down to is if you're trying to keep a Pokemon low to catch it, or you can't one-hit knock it out, you can be there for 7 or 8 calls for help and more coming, because you can't throw a Pokeball if there's 2 there. Now, calling for help...
All I wanted was a Caterpie.
Calling for help doesn't take up that Pokemon's attack turn. You attack, they attack, they're alive. Before the next turn, they can call for help. But sometimes help doesn't come. Now, the first time it happened to me was with the new Pokemon Mudbray, the donkey.
Yeah.
And I wanted it anyway, because I think what it evolves into is really cool. And I got it low, and it says Mudbray called for help, and then it said... help didn't come. And I felt so bad. I'm like, you poor thing. So I caught it, and now he's a core part of my team. I'm like, come on, buddy. Come with me.
You've got friends now.
You've got a friend in me.
Mine was like, I wanted to catch a Caterpie. And like, because I'm like, oh man, like I'm just catching everything that I see, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, a Caterpie, I want you. Cool, low health. And then another one, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And that was more higher level, so I'm going to try you instead. And then that one buggered off. And then I'm like, all right. And then another one, I'm like, oh. And then the same thing happened when I was in a cave and there was a Zubat and it's like no help.
Zubat's
no,
not bad.
it was like no help came. I'm like, suck it. I punched it in the face. And I was like, take it. I went the polar opposite.
You can't tell me there's no Zubats in the vicinity.
Like, this is bizarre.
But that particular feature, the SOS, comes in handy post-game for EV training.
Which is right up your alley.
Which is what I'm going to be doing. So I'll probably do a video about how to do that exactly once I get to that point. But it's not a wasted feature. It is there for a reason. It's just it can be infuriating.
But it's like
in the early game.
Also incredibly helpful to train up your Pokemon as well.
Oh god, yeah.
Because if you want to get like to a certain level, like just by chance, you're going to just start pumping XP into.
That's also why 2 of my core team have a multi-hit ability.
Yeah.
To take out 2 at once.
Nice.
So I don't get stuck in that loop.
Nice. I like it.
To be a master.
All right, final thoughts.
I'm fucking loving this game, man. I don't get a lot of time for games anymore. I've said it quite a bit. I don't have a lot of free time. But the fact it's on my DS means I can take it to work and play it on my lunch break. Play it when I'm pooping. So since Friday I've put in 21 hours. And that for me...
It's a lot of pooping.
Like these days... Oh yeah, I'm not eating well. These days for me that's a lot of time, but I'm making the time for it. And the best thing is I've got a copy for each of my kids. We spent all of Sunday just playing Pokemon together. And we were all like, wow, look at this, and wow, look at this. Like, it was really, just a really fun day.
Yeah.
Really good bonding.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. What about you?
I love it. As I said, it's giving me the Pokemon that I know and love, with a nice twist. It's giving it a new overhaul, which makes it new and fresh. For someone like myself that has literally been playing this for 20 years, like, it's really cool to have it reinvigorated rather than, hey, here's new Pokemon, here's a new region. It's like, it's that plus.
Yeah.
A couple cool little features that let you get more involved with your Pokemon. An example with like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, they dressed them up and paraded them. Like, I didn't give a crap about that.
Yeah, no.
This is
Thankfully, a lot of all that dumb stuff is gone.
So this is nice and simple. It's just you look after them, you brush them, as in like when they get hurt.
Yeah.
You can dry them when they get wet.
Their affection goes up.
Yeah, you feed them jelly beans. Like it's those little things that make
interesting
it more...
thing about affection in this game, because affection is different from being friendly. Apparently, if they're at full affection, they have an extra 20% chance to dodge an attack.
It's awesome.
As far as competitive play goes, that's huge.
And there's also a lot of little changes, as you mentioned, with like no HMs. Like these little things make the game a better experience overall. And the best thing about them is you don't if you're not going to notice them. They're not going to be like, "Hey, we've made a noticeable change." It's like, "Oh man, that's a really good improvement."
You're wondering why I didn't get any HMs yet.
Yeah, I'm just like, sweet. I have a Taurus that punches things. Like, this is great. The new Pokemon are perfect. I love it. This game is beautiful. Now, what my theory is, and I'm sure it's not a unique theory, is there is those rumors coming out that there will be a Pokemon Stars for Switch, and I think that is 100% possible with what we're looking at. This game is stunning. It looks like it would upscale really, really well, because like those, as I mentioned, those sprites are of a really high quality. It
has no 3D.
It has no 3D support, and you very rarely use the bottom screen. So I highly think it's going to happen, but it's got me in love with it. I've never lost my love for Pokemon.
Yeah, but it's reinvigorated.
It's brought me back.
Yeah, it's brought you back. No.
Love it. Like, I have a ton of other games I could be playing, and I'm playing Pokemon.
It's rare for me to sit on the couch, put on Netflix, and play a game.
I also...
It's either one or the other, or
Yep.
I'm on my computer.
Yeah.
But now I can just sit back and chill.
I had Futurama in the background last night, and I was playing my 3DS.
Well, to top it off, the soundtrack is the best I've heard in years. Because I think I've said it before, I have a thing for video game soundtracks. Like, that's my jam. This is awesome. The music in this is really top-notch stuff.
Out the usual out of 10?
I don't like reading.
You don't like numbers, we got to do them.
At the moment where I'm at, 8.5.
Hey!
But I'm a man of the post-game stuff.
Yeah.
I love the post-game stuff. But from what I've seen of the story, which we can't talk about because spoilers and stuff, but from what I've seen, the story kind of goes, yeah. And just fucking goes out there.
See, I can't wait to hit that point. Because I'm finding this story more compelling.
It's so noticeable too. Like, you're just derping about. Everyone's so friendly in Alola, which is nice, because all the other games, you got your antagonist, and everyone's grouchy, and Team Rocket's like, and Team Scarlet just like, yo, what's up? And they're like, everyone's really friendly and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a really nice environment to be in, but something happened in the game last night that, you know how you have a moment in a video game where it's like, this just changed everything. It happens in this game.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and
I'm going to give it a 9. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah.
I have no complaints. Like apart from a couple little things, which even those little things, it's like,
yeah,
I'm cool.
They've gotten rid of more inconveniences than they've added in.
Yeah, they've made the game. They've not just made the game better. They've made the series better. Yeah. And if you this has come out like a week after Pokemon Sun and Moon came out. So if you don't have it, what are you doing? You should get it.
It's good price.
And we should mention as well, thank you very much for Nintendo for sending us this copy of Pokemon Sun for review. It's very, very nice of them to send that one out. Yeah, I would have bought it anyway.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Because I'm the one who always...
So it's really nice of them to have that come through. So that was our dissection of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. What are you loving and what are you don't liking about it? Comment below, let us know.
If you want to trade, put your friend code in the comment section.
Oh, 100%.
I'll add you.
Yeah, I'm going to need more Pokemon. We both picked the owl.
Yeah.
We both picked Rowlet, so...
We didn't communicate this time.
I need the seal. Yeah. I need the cat. I need Popplio. I need Litten. Let's trade it out.
Everyone hates Popplio. Like, I got the owl. My two kids are like... They're looking at the other ones. They're like... We'll both get the cat.
So help us trade. I'm Ryan Betson.
Josh Saunders.
See you next week.
Bye.
Next week? Who knows if we're going to do this again?
Oh, yeah, Christmas.
Yeah.